very good 2013? Okay, not so many. Now I can say what I wanted to say. There was one who I asked, what do you think about 2013? And his reply was, Father, if 2013 was a person, I would sue him for pain, for suffering, and loss of wages. Because he had a very tough time in 2013, and he lost his job finally. Now, many of us, quite often, when we look back to our lives, and we focus on the negativity, the hardships, the pain, the suffering, and in his case, the loss of wages. Yes, of course, our memories would be very painful, and thereby, as we could see here, either you were shy to raise your hands, or it was probably a very tough year. When we look throughout the year, yes, there were a lot of blessings, and there were a lot of challenges. Now, in the history of St. Anne's Church here in 2013, we would say there were a lot of blessings. We had a number of blessings. For example, in our case, we know the launching of Better World Denmark that took place. We had a number of activities, St. Anne's Day, which was for the first time in the history of this church, done together. So there was a lot of coming in together. We were blessed by the First Holy Communion and Confirmation, and a lot of weddings and baptisms this year. So we look into the last 1 year, 2013, we would say it was a wonderful year in that way. It had sad moments. We did lose Father Jack Adams. We had many of our family members back in the Philippines who were affected by the tragic earthquakes and the typhoons there, who have lost their near and dear ones. We've had many who have lost their family members this year. So there were sad moments too. But when we see the whole package together, the question for us as individuals who are still remaining is, have I become a better person than I was in 2012 through the experiences that I received in 2013? Now, we are jumping into a very big leap, a leap from 2013 into 2014. Yes, it's easy for us to say, I saw you guys all last year, right? And say, yes, it's a long time, and joke about it. But the transition is something special. It's something beautiful to have a change. Now, we don't change the calendars 2013 to 2014 just because some companies think that we have used it a lot, that we should have a new calendar in the offices. But I believe it's because society found that there is a beauty in this change, that it initiates people to think different, that this will be an inspiration to start something anew. Normally, when you hear 2013, what is the common factor that many of us take on that day? What do we take? Any ideas? We make a lot of resolutions, right? Now let's go back to 2012, when we were moving in from 2012 to 2013. How many of you made resolutions? Right? Many of us. Good. Many of us made resolutions. And I would ask a simple question as we would normally ask ourselves. Yeah, every year I keep making resolutions. I'm not sure how many of them I keep, and I'm not sure how many of them I succeed. Well, we have cases of people who have very strong willpower, who actually succeed in that and say, yes, this year I'm going to do this, and they have done it. And I admire them for that. But quite often, the feedback I get, and as you can see here itself, we grin at ourselves, we laugh at ourselves and say, yeah, I made those resolutions, but I didn't keep them. And I've been doing them every year, I keep repeating them every year. Now, this year too, 2014, I'm going to do something special. We choose to say no to some things, and we choose to say yes to some things. Now the question for us in these choices are, what do I do about these resolutions? First and foremost, I need to evaluate myself. I need to see, why did I even make resolutions? If I were sure that I would not keep them? Was it just for fashion, just for tradition? Or was it a way for me to check myself, evaluate myself and say, okay, these are the areas that I need to work on. These are the areas that I've been a failure in. These are the areas that I keep on messing up again and again. I would like to be different, which is good. And the other side, to even say, there are many areas that I'm good at, and I would like to grow in that area. I'm good at loving. I'm good at being kind. I'm good at being generous. I'm good at my work. I'm good at my family relationships. I'm going to do even better because there is always room for growth. There is always room for improvement. Now we are given this opportunity this very day to start again. Not to worry and to drag 2013 with us saying, it's been a tough year, it's been such a burdensome year, and drag it along with us. No. I believe this transition is a time where you clip off that cord which connects you to 2013, not forgetting it completely, but instead learning from that. Quite often I like to see each year as a block of brick. You don't choose to carry this concrete brick upon your shoulder all the time and say, I am burdened by 2013. Instead, I advise that we take that brick and place it down beneath our feet so that we may use it to step upon it and rise one more altitude higher. Meaning, we choose to live by the principles, the experiences that we have gained from 2013 and rise up to be better men and women. And this is the challenge that we have today. It's not an easy task. It is tough. But we are called to try. And there comes in the meaning of making resolutions. Not because we will always be successful, but to give us ourselves that little boost, that little push that we need to say, I've got to try. I've got to try. I am a person who believes that our resolutions, as the word would say, is to do something better. But to put or to translate resolution in the Catholic term, I would translate that as a big yes to confessions. Now, many of us are afraid of confessions, and this I am not hesitating to say at all, because I've seen that throughout the last 5 years, we are afraid. We are afraid because we think, if I go to confession, then I will have to live up to my decisions that I make there. How different is it from that of resolutions? We make resolutions, but somehow we are not obliged. We are not so pushed to say, I make my own promises, I can break my own promises. No one to be answerable to. But here in confessions, we are answerable to that God who's checking on us, who is there with us all the time saying, my son, my daughter, you have promised me last time when you came to confessions that you will strive to do better. And this will always be there with us as our conscience, reminding us and guiding us, inspiring us to do better. I believe if at all, as Catholics, we need to do anything, I believe we should be not making resolutions, but we should be making confessions. Now we have got a misconception about confession. Confession means that I have to sin, so if I don't have sins, I don't have to go to confession. But I believe confession is not only about confessing your sins, but confession, as the new term of the sacrament would be, sacrament of reconciliation, where I reconcile with my God, with myself, with one another, and the whole world. Here, through this sacrament, you are coming forward to be one with that which you have been separated from. So how more greater a better resolution can you make than to go to confessions and say, yes, Lord, I need your guidance, I need your help, so that I may be healed and become a better person. Now in the confession, the Lord is not seated there to judge any one of us. Instead, He is there to inspire us and say, my son, you have done well. Now, during confessions, when people come to confession, suppose there is a person who came and said, Father, the last 1 week I smoked 50 cigarettes, for example. what would be my answer? Shame on you? Sorry, no, that would not be my answer. I would say, congratulations. Why? Because I knew that person was smoking 100 cigarettes before. He's made it to 50. Brothers and sisters, I believe this is what Christ would be doing. He's not focusing on your grade or your gravity of your sin, but he is focusing on you, the person who seeks to be a better person. What more better a resolution can we make this year than to strive to say, Lord, I will try to be at least 1% better than I was in 2013. Let my 2014 bring me as a better person. And I believe, brothers and sisters, there is no other area other than the sacrament of confession or reconciliation where you can, without sure, for 100% guarantee, attain this redemption, this salvation, and this freedom that he offers you. Now, I would go for a double yes to the persons as examples that the church offers us, none other than the saints themselves. In the olden days, each and every one of us used to receive a name based on our patron saint. Our parents would choose a patron saint's name and offer that name to us as our baptismal name. Today, it fluctuates, it changes these days. But those of us who do have those names, try to reflect upon them. Or else, if you can find your baptismal name, try to find that and see who the saint that your parents chose that you may follow as a beautiful example. I believe it's time that the church grows not in worshipping or adoring or giving a high position to the saints by external appearances, but instead to give a greater position to these people, these wonderful saints, as models to follow. Where we can say, yes, Lord, I look upon this saint as I am named after St. Thomas. I would say, yes, I would look upon St. Thomas who sets up an example for me. Lord, let me also. He was a normal man just like me. If he can be a saint, why can't I? Brothers and sisters, let's ask this question to ourselves. St. Alphonsus, the founder of the Redemptorist Fathers, he invites every Redemptorist as they join the congregation, telling them, I do not want quantity, I need quality. Thereby, I seek, if you want to be a member of the congregation, come to become a saint. Do you see a halo over my head? I don't think so. My earlier provincial used to say, Father Joe, you are, or Joe, he would say, Joe, you are an angel. He would give a silent moment and then he would say, I just can't find your horns and your tails. He would mock at us. But why? Trying to tell us that we do have both our good sides and our bad sides, and that's what we are for. That's why we are humans. Or else we would all have been gods and angels and saints. But look at this example of the lives of the saints. They are people who tried and strived and persevered until the last moment, saying, yes, Lord, I know I can do it. And that's why we have these examples for us. Not that we may just have a great feast and celebrate their name and forget all about the beautiful example they gave us. I would like to quote none other but the greatest of sinners, as he would call himself, Saint Augustine. A great sinner. But he, later on, becoming a saint, teaches us that, Lord, what I am today is your gift to me. But what I become tomorrow, or even from this moment on, what I become is my gift to you. Right? What I am today is God's gift to me, and what I become is my gift to the Lord. A way of us showing how much we love our God and how much we are striving to be like Him. We have a quotation of Saint Josemarie. This year I would recommend the same. Let's make few resolutions. Not too many decisions, right? Very few resolutions. But let's make them definite. Let's make them definite. Let's be choosy about them. Let's see what is the priority in my life. What is that that's most important? Do I seek the salvation of my soul? Do I seek the salvation of those around me? The goodness that they may experience in life through my words and actions, and fulfill them with the help of God. Christ invites us this very day where he says, "Go and sin no more." John 8:11. He's inviting us to do that. He's challenging us. Guys, let's do it. Why? Because the Lord knows our capacity. He knows that we have the innate potency, that we have the power within us to live a life away from sin. We will not be perfect, but we can still try. We can still try. And that's all that the Lord is asking of us. He's only asking us, "My children, strive, persevere until the end. He who perseveres is saved." Today, let's make a resolution where we say, "I firmly resolve, with the help of your grace, Lord, to sin no more and to avoid the near occasion of sin." If I do see that there is an opportunity where I can fall, to have the prudence to say, "Oops, I better be careful. I have fallen here before. I have been here before. I don't want to fall into the pit again." And be aware of that occasion and stay away from them and strive to live a holier life. We are called to say no to sin and to accept Jesus, who is sinless and who calls us to a sinless life. We have none other than Mother Mary herself, who gives us the beautiful example this day. As we acknowledge her as Mother of God, it doesn't mean that she is the boss, the number one, about to be glorified, honored, and made a goddess. She is that one who receives that great title because of her fiat, of her openness to say to the Lord, "Here I am, the handmaid of the Lord, be done to me according to your will." Her surrender, her giving in, and her choice to live a holy life made her worthy to receive this title. So brothers and sisters, today, let's journey, let's start this life, this new year, with Mother Mary beside us. Throughout the whole year, call upon her and ask her to teach us how we can be true disciples of Jesus Christ. Amen. Let us now rise with this faith and with Mother Mary along with us and profess our faith.